Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Kiki Sparkles.
Hello.
And they've come for Jessica Rabbit.
Well, actually, no, they're gonna come for Roger Rabbit.
They're gonna come for Roger Rabbit. They've removed Jessica Rabbit because they're getting ready to overhaul Disneyland's Roger Rabbit ride to focus on Jessica Rabbit.
Yes, because that makes sense.
Because apparently the current version of Jessica Rabbit, where they had her in the trunk on the ride, she was too problematic. So they took her out for now, but they're going to put her back and she's going to be the star.
Right, and she's going to be a private eye, so they're going to leave her in a dress?
Probably not.
Oh, that's what I'm waiting for next. Oh, that's too sexy. As a redhead, I'm not offended, Disney. I'm not offended as a redhead, so...
She's not bad, she's just drawn that way. Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk about that. Again, Disney's Diversity and Inclusion Initiative claims another attraction. Mm-hmm. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 235,000 subs.
Woohoo!
Thank you for the support. We do talk a lot about Disney, having worked in and around the company and spending an awful lot of time in the theme parks. And this one came as kind of a surprise because one, nobody thinks about this ride, really. Mm-hmm. And two, we hadn't heard much about it in advance. It just kind of happened. They're like, oh yeah, we're getting rid of Jessica Rabbit and we're bringing her back as a private eye and it's going to be all about her now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because we can't have Roger Rabbit be the star of his own.
Right. That's problematic. He's a white rabbit. It's a white boy rabbit. That's bad.
That is bad. So again, this is part of their Diversity and Inclusion Initiative, which has seen them make a lot of changes that nobody asked for to a lot of different attractions, with more changes on the way, such as Splash Mountain being rethemed for Princess and the Frog.
We know Peter Pan's going to get it here at some point.
Peter Pan's totally going to get it. We've heard rumors that all the historic rides were going to get a current year makeover.
Yeah, I heard. I know it's all rumor. That the American Adventure was one they were going to target, even though it was a historical look at what happened. And it was pretty, fair.
Well, that was pretty even.
No, that's problematic. Oh. And they were talking about changing the Haunted Mansion because they have the hanging scene in the beginning of the ride.
And it is a plantation house. So,
well, the one in Disneyland is. And they're like, yeah, we got to take that out. So there's a lot of changes coming, but I never heard this one as one that was a rumor coming. I don't think anyone saw this one coming.
Yeah, it came from, I think, WDW News Today, their sister site, Disneyland News Today.
Yes, that's where I saw it.
And again, this is, the Roger Rabbit cartoon spin, which is not a very popular attraction. It's
okay.
It's okay. It's not.
Some people love it, and that's okay. You're allowed to love it. It's a classic. If you're a Disneyland person, it's one of those classic attractions people just go on because it's classic and they like it. I wasn't a huge fan, but I'm not from Disneyland, so that area, so.
So they pulled the figure of Jessica Rabbit down from part of the ride. The change was reported by Disneyland News Today, and we'll go out and find some pictures on WDW News Today. Yeah, she was in the trunk. She was being kidnapped because, that happened in the movie where she got kidnapped. But we can't have that because it's problematic to have a ginger in a ride.
That's right.
It's problematic to have a woman being kidnapped.
No, they're being right on cue. They're saying that she's going to take over, which, redheads would do that.
They would. She's going to be like...
No one puts us in a trunk.
Nobody puts a ginger in a trunk. When she comes back, she'll be race swapped.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. But, if they can get away with it, they would. She's probably wearing a different outfit because that's problematic.
That is... that's what they're going to do.
Her size will shrink drastically.
Well, she's going to be a private detective. They're going to put her in a trench coat. You watch. They'll put her in a trench coat so you don't have to see her boobs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because how else are they going to get private detective across to you unless they stereotype the hell out of it?
So the dark ride's based on the 88 film Who Framed Roger Rabbit, classic movie, would never get made today. Lets riders hop into taxi cabs for a swirling trip through the movie's main plot points. Yes. Very basic dark ride, but yeah, a lot of people do like it. I think it's kind of whatever. The missing figure, Izzy, from the near beginning of the ride. Jessica formerly appeared in the trunk of the car, tied up and swinging her bare legs. How dare she? Disneyland News Today reports she has been replaced by Barrels. She's still featured later in the ride, boinking a character. Oh.
Yeah. I don't think
boinking a character.
What they meant. Over the head with a mallet. Yeah, that's a completely different ride. I think it's funny that it's problematic because her legs are sticking out, so her from knees down is a problem, apparently. There's nothing bad about that, but,
She's just drawn that way.
Right.
It's unclear whether this change was made to fix a mechanical issue or to rid the ride of a potentially sexualizing portrayal of a damsel in distress.
Have you seen the movie?
It's definitely the second one.
And you know what? She was never really in the damsel in distress. That was kind of
she
a joke.
wasn't. Yeah, she was actually smarter than Roger.
Yeah.
She was, request for clarification from Disneyland on the motivation was not immediately returned because they're getting ready to put their PR spin on this. For our diversity and inclusion initiative, we've decided it's problematic. Just as problematic as having a wench auction, it's problematic to have a cartoon character,
with boobs.
With boobs that just
She
ended there.
technically is covered mostly.
She is. Reenacting a scene from a very popular movie. That's okay. We're going to fix that movie soon enough. The Disney Plus version, we're going to take that scene out.
Probably.
And we're going to put lots of content warnings up. Warning, tits ahead.
That's right.
Tits ahead,
It
everybody.
was like there's patty cake going on.
There's, oh my God, patty cake.
So where did it say that? Because other people were talking about what they were doing with it, and they're gonna make a private eye. I know I saw that places last night.
Yeah, this is coming from WDW News Today. This is breaking Roger Rabbit's cartoon spin at Disneyland getting cultural sensitivity update, making Jessica Rabbit the lead character.
Of course, because
Yeah, so Disneyland just announced, the overhaul of the entire ride.
that was right. It was on the OC Register.
Yeah, according to the OC Register, Disneyland is updating the ride with Jessica Rabbit as the central figure in order to make the ride more relevant. Jessica will now be a private eye determined to stamp out tits. A Toontown crime wave.
Right, because that sounds like something she would do.
The scene where the character was in the trunk of the finale of the ride are confirmed to receive changes, but beyond that, nothing has been announced. Jessica is briefly visible in our full ride-through video from it. Yeah,
if you want to see it, you can go watch it there.
So barrels.
Yeah, they're added barrels to it. Took her out. So yeah, because maybe they dipped her.
They dipped.
That's even darker. God. They dipped Jessica Rabbit. Anyway,
well, they don't want the men to think about dipping her.
That's right. So they dipped her for you.
It's not for you. It's not for you.
I guarantee you, she's going to come back. Because how are you going to get private eye in that dress? You're not. They're going to cover her up and put her in a trench coat and a hat.
Yep.
And that's what they're going to do because, people complained because she's too sexy. It's like, that's how she was in the cartoon. And honestly, other than having big boobs, she's covered pretty much the whole way.
People complained. Literally, nobody complained. This is what is going on.
Somebody was pissed in that cultural sensitivity thing.
No, they're not even pissed. What happened was Disney hired a third party to come in and audit their theme parks.
Oh, that's right, they did.
So they're going to look for problems where there are no problems. Like there are some, I'll give you some of the things or maybe racist by current year standards, whatever. We're talking 50, 60-year-old rides, right? But now since they've gone for the big ones, they've gone for Splash Mountain, they've gone for Jungle Cruise, they're going to go for Peter Pan. Now they're going to start nitpicking every damn ride in the theme park, and it will be the safest, spaciest place you've ever been.
I just think they're taking away her agency. If they put her in a trench coat and cover her up, that's not how she wanted to be. She was always like that, and that was her shtick. That was who she was. It's kind of like what we're seeing with Faye Valentine. Yeah. And it's like, that there was nothing wrong with that. As a redhead, I am not offended. Who are you worried about being offended? I'm a woman. I'm a redhead, not offended. Wasn't offended by the redhead. We want the redhead in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride either. I mean, this is getting ridiculous.
This is ridiculous. And I don't know... it doesn't matter if people push back against it. I mean, look at the change.org petition to keep Splash Mountain the way that it is. It literally has 4 to 5 times the number of signatures that the petition to change it had. Changes that were announced to Pirates of the Caribbean at D23 in California were booed. They were booed.
Yes.
And I think what they're going to do is they're going to just do this stuff and they're not going to tell you anymore because they're not going to give you the heads up so you can complain about it. They're just going to do it. One day, American Adventure is just going to go down for a refurb, and it's going to come back, and it's going to be completely different.
It's going to be Hamilton.
It's going to be Hamilton.
I'm just like, but this was dumb. I mean, it's because it's based on the film.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually was more surprised by this than anything because I could see them shutting it down and making it something else, like turning it into different, like more a modern, one of the new modern shows. I could see them doing that. But this is such a specific and stupid thing. I was like, I did not see this coming at all.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
How is this problematic? I'm like, they're like, well, we're changing Jungle Cruise and Splash Mountain because it's not racist-y and it's not, against other cultures. I'm a redhead. I'm a pale-skinned redhead with big boobs. I'm not offended. How is this against, how is this, Why does this need to be the Prince with the Diversity and Inclusion Initiative?
Because they're paying a third-party auditor to come in and audit all the
Well,
problematic
fire your
things.
auditor, because I, as a busty redhead, don't care. Not offended.
Yeah. Yeah, this is ridiculous, guys. Disney, as we knew it, is done. They're only going to produce the safest, spaciest entertainment going
You
forward.
said That's a problem.
That is a problem. And we're never going to get a movie like Roger Rabbit again, ever.
No.
They were going to do a sequel, and it was in development hell for the longest time, and I don't know how you'd even do a sequel. They had a book sequel.
But even her in the movie, I mean, she was smart, and she was in control of her own, like, she made the choices she made. Like, she was being blackmailed, but, you know, she was smart, and she cared about Roger, and she was actually a good person, and she was a good character. And you know what I mean? There was nothing wrong with her other than the way that she was drawn, which was the joke. Like, I'm drawn that way. And nobody's been pissed about this in the 30 years plus it's been out?
Yeah. Yeah. I give up. I just give up. Like, I can't even get angry about this stuff anymore because I'm like, of course they are.
They're going to cover up. That's exactly what you're completely right.
Yeah, they're going to use it as a reason to put her in a trench coat to get rid of her boobs.
No, suddenly her boobs will be smaller too.
Her boobs will be small. They'll be taped down. You know. Yeah, I can't anymore. Disney, you've gone batshit crazy. Stop taking crazy pills.
This is dumb. No one asked for this.
Nobody asked for any of these changes, really. They're a very small percentage of people had been bitching about Splash Mountain. Most of the people
were going to change it anyway.
They were talking about changing Splash Mountain 10 years ago.
They've been wanting to change it for years and put one of their princess IP in there. It was a rumor for years before any of this Black Lives Matter stuff happened.
Yeah.
They were trying, but they kept getting so much pushback. They knew they couldn't get it through. So they waited until there was a time they could get it through. And then they made it sound like it was this new idea they had, to look how progressive and how we listen. And that's not what happened.
I still think The Princess and the Frog was designed to replace Splash Mountain. It just didn't do as well at the box office as they had hoped for. But I mean, look at the location. Mm-hmm. New Orleans.
Some of the ride elements and the movie elements.
Yeah, we got a whole water scene, swamp scene would make a nice,
singing finale.
Yep.
And then I was thinking about like Jungle Cruise and the whole Jungle Cruise thing. You know what the thing with that is they're trying to do a Disney Sea cinematic universe on Disney Plus. They're working on it now. So they changed the ride to reflect the Disney Sea. This Society of Explorers and Adventurers.
Yeah.
They changed the ride to reflect that more because they've already been putting it in the parks and in places, probably to go along with the show. They're going to say it's for diversity and inclusion, but 10-1, it's not. 10-1. But Red the Pirate. Guess what? They're doing a new Pirates of the Caribbean movie with female leads. Want to bet Red the Pirate's one of them?
I'm sure.
I mean, why did they change it? They're not changing this for like, oh, look, we're just trying to, we realize how problematic it is. No, they're changing it so it's already leveraged for films and things like that.
Oh, shit. They are going to do a Roger Rabbit sequel, and they are going to make Jessica Rabbit a detective.
It's probably Jessica Rabbit's Detective Agency on Disney Plus.
Probably, and then Roger's like freaking dead or something. Like Roger's dead.
Or he's kidnapped and she is trying to find.
She has to go save Roger Rabbit.
Or or something stupid.
Who kidnapped Roger Rabbit?
Yeah, something like that.
Who killed Roger Rabbit?
You watch.
For real. Who killed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah, you watch. Because that's exactly, they don't do this just for, because we're trying to be, with it and we hear you. No one asked for a lot of these changes. They do it because it was what they wanted to do the whole time. They try to make you think it was your idea.
Yep. So there we go, guys. Who Killed Roger Rabbit is coming. Jessica Rabbit going to wear a trench coat.
Jessica Rabbit PI.
Jessica Rabbit PI. Cover up those boobs are problematic. We're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.